Right now, there are more and more number of microfinance operator, and each of them they try to expand, to grow very fast. So the over-indebtedness, it can be coming at some time. How Hathakas Call Limited are going to prevent this situation?
So in terms of the policy that we apply for preventing of the risk of indebtedness, before I'm going too deeply on that, I would like to draw your attention as to understand about the aspect of the bankings and the microfinance industries. So as you may know that most of the banks and microfinance and also the credit operators are mostly giving loans based on the abilities of the customer repayments. The abilities of the repayment would be come from the income generations or income from the other source. But for HKLs, we focus on the cash flow based lendings in order to ensure that the customer have the abilities to repay. We checking the multiple lending account in the loan assessment process. So the main criteria in the loan assessment process, we focusing on the capacity to repay of the customers. So for HKL, we also set the threshold capacity of the repayment of the customers. It's called the debt service coverage ratio. We assess all the family incomes, which involves in the credit repayments. So in the loan assessment process, in the stage of the loan obligations, we always conduct the loan disciplinaries to the customers. Is one part of the loan disciplinary, we focusing on that the information regarding to the additional debts. So currently, HKL are practicing in three kinds of ways in order to check and to verify the debts of the customers. And the first, we check and verify debts with the local authorities, let's say the chief of communes or the chief of village. And the second, we also verify with the neighborhoods as well as the guarantors, because sometimes the customer have having debts with the informal lenders. The last way, we check with the credit bureaus of Cambodia. And another policy that we also practicing so far, where the loan obligations have multiple accounts with the other banks, MFI or HKL itself. The loan should be getting approval from the delegate lending authorities. Let's say if the customer have one or two loan accounts with other banks, the approval should be getting from the branch manager. More than two loan accounts, the application shall be getting approval from the management credit committee in head office levels. Another policy that also contribute to prevent of the risk of over-indebtedness. After the loan disbursements, the loan monitoring is conducted regularly once per every quarters by our credit officer. And the credit monitoring is focusing on to update it, the personnel information of the customer, and to update it, the business status. Specifically, we focus on the income flows of the customers, and we also study about the debts of the customers. And of course, we also subscribe the loan portfolio monitoring service from the credit bureaus. It means that when the customer having that with other microfinance or banks, then we know the exactly the amount that the customer have. But another reason that we conduct the loan monitoring is we have to check the debt with the informal lenders. And if the customer have the debt with informal lenders, our credit officer have to remind the customer again about the loan disciplinaries, understand the ability of the repayments, the total income generated every month against the total debt to be repaid. During the loan cycle, the customer can have a rights to request HKLs, another debts, in case they have an emergency or in case they have problems with the business. And another man's policy that also contributing to prevent of the risk of indebtedness. Loan portfolio quality is highly considered as part of the computing the incentive scheme for credit officers. So it means that we set the incentive rate based on the ranking of the portfolio qualities. So we rankings from 0 to 2%. If the loans portfolios at risk more than 2%, we cannot provide the incentives.
As of today, HKL Capital Limited, we have a very good non-permanent loan rate. Currently, we have only 0.08% of non-permanent loan. So this the action that we are taking to prevent the over-indebtedness in the near future.